Hello, I am J.M. Slavik, a retired attorney and longtime political observer, and this is U.S. Politics, A Different Perspective, where I will try to provide a perspective that differs from that which is conventional or mainstream. In this first video, I will be talking about context generally because I think it is critical in political analysis. We need to always remember to put everything in context, so let's start with the greater context. I find it helpful to remember that we are on a globe with an 8,000-mile diameter, which is spinning in space, that is in a solar system billions of miles across, which is in a galaxy made up of 100 billion stars like our sun, and that is 100,000 light years across, with our galaxy being one of billions of galaxies, which stretch on for billions of light years. And this universe is expanding, meaning that all the observable universe, that to the edge of the particle horizon, billions of light years distant, is just part of the universe, and it is expanding at an increasing rate. And on top of all that, there are cosmologists who believe that there may be an infinite number of universes like our own. This is not to argue that we are insignificant, though we obviously are with respect to the entire universe. But there is no reason we must judge ourselves from the perspective of the entire universe, as we should focus on that which we are more closely connected to. Though it is helpful to remember this vast universe exists to help us recognize that there are innumerable ways to look at things and innumerable forms that matter and energy can take, and such forms have been evolving for billions of years. Also, understanding something about the vastness and complexity of the universe helps to remind us how limited our experience, knowledge, and understanding are, how perilous our situation is, and how fragile our lives are. This provides a context that should always be in the back of our minds as we evaluate new information and try to perceive the world around us. Another greater context to keep in mind, in addition to the one of space, is that of time. Consider that the universe has been evolving for 15 billion years or so, that the Earth has been around for 5 billion of those years, that mammals have been evolving for a couple of 100 million years, and humans have been evolving for a few million years. And human civilization has been developing for thousands of those years, with many civilizations growing and collapsing in that time, providing a great many lessons to others. And whether we thrive or even survive depends on creating and manipulating contexts in a way consistent with helping us better understand and navigate what is going on around us. Now, to get more specific to the political world, note that we evolved to live in small groups with limited technology, while we came to live in large groups with advanced technology for greater security, comfort, and excitement. But we don't really fit, like square pegs trying to be forced into round holes. So maybe we shouldn't expect too much from our systems attempting to coordinate our behavior and increase our efficiency in meeting common needs. It's really worse from a complexity standpoint, as we aren't square pegs but are multidimensional creatures guided by brains made up of billions of neurons connected in a myriad of ways, who are then connected to a multitude of other brains and social networks, providing a political reality of unbounded complexity. So any sort of precise scientific analysis of the process is not practicable, even using sophisticated statistical methods, including multivariate regression analysis, for there are too many variables with too many connections in a dynamic and rapidly changing system. Even though such a precise analysis is not possible, there still can be utility in an analysis that leads to predictions that are correct more than a random process would be. Though for any analysis to have utility, it must be of manageable depth and complexity. And while everyone can have a different idea of what is manageable or what is an optimal approach to providing utility, here I'm just going to provide my best effort at an analysis at what I believe is a manageable level. And hopefully it will provide correct predictions more often than a random process would. The goal is to provide a model of our political and social reality based on a coherent system of beliefs that allows for the generation of narratives that more closely match the facts and that are more internally consistent and provide better predictions about the future than the concocted narratives cobbled together by a predatory elite and their propagandists. Not all models of the world are equal, as some produce better predictions about the future than others. Specifically in regard to specific outputs from specific inputs, and more generally in terms of what will happen in a more global sense. Virtually all contentious issues come from people operating with models of the world that differ by focusing on different perspectives or by claiming different facts, or by using different contexts. And sometimes this is honest and sincere, and at others it is the product of propagandists pursuing an advantage for themselves or those who employ them. Anyone can shift a perspective or claim a different set of facts to suit their interests, but the skilled propagandists often manipulate the context in which events are placed in order to control the narrative. Remember Stalin's famous maxim regarding context that a single death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic. In order to escape the traps being set by propagandists, each individual should play their own mental games with broadening and narrowing the context for each event. That's all for now. Next time I'll focus on the current situation.